So David G. and I'll speak just very briefly, and then we'll have an arati and a blessing, and then we'll go outside for a closing fire ceremony. And those of you who can stay, then there'll be tea at 4 o'clock. You know, a retreat like this is an extremely important thing to do as often as we can, because being together, just as Davy was saying about all of the particles coming to form a sun, all of that light of the sun then radiates out. And so all of us coming together, we magnetize each other, and all of us get raised up into the light, and then that magnetizes not only us individually, but the groups that we're a part of. It magnetizes that to be more luminescent and to shed more light. But a weekend like this will fade quite rapidly. There will be little snatches of it here and there that we remember in a month, or we might remember some particular thing that happened, or the beautiful setting or something. But it won't be a living reality for us unless we keep it as a living reality. We have to keep feeding it. This is a little plant that we have planted now, and it has sprouted. It has the potential to grow into a huge tree, but if it's just left unwatered, uncared for, it's not going to grow very big at all. And the animals of the busy life that we all lead, they'll come and they'll nibble it away, and it will be gone. So we have to put a fence around it, and that fence around it means that we have to protect our spiritual experiences from being drawn out. As Davy was saying, not only do we have to have the courage to stand up for what we believe, but we have to actively protect our spiritual life from too many diluting elements that we meet every day of our life. And so that fence around it, in part, is to make sure that, especially I would say for the next 2 weeks, come away with this retreat, from this retreat, with just at least one, and maybe 2, but not very many, spiritual resolves that you will actually do. You have to decide. It doesn't do any good to say, oh, I'm so inspired, I'm going to meditate. I'll get up at 2 in the morning and I'll meditate 4 hours and then start the day. A promise like that is only a promise. But if you're meditating now irregularly, then if you can, sincerely, make yourself the promise that from this retreat you will meditate regularly, but then put it into action, and at least for 2 weeks, but even better, in the Bible, Christian Bible, Jesus goes out into the desert for a 40-day retreat. The desert means withdrawal, deep withdrawal. And so really, if you can, for 40 days, if you make a promise to meditate every morning, then do that for 40 days, no matter what. And the world will test you, because it's a battle like the battle of Kurukshetra. The Kauravas are out there, and they're waiting for us. We're kind of in the compound of the Pandavas here during this weekend. But make no mistake, the Kauravas are out there waiting. So they will test whatever spiritual resolve you make. But I've found that if you can stay strong for not that long, 40 days, if you stay strong for those 40 days, then they'll give up the battle. So take 1 or 2 spiritual promises home with you, and then, like that little plant, fence it around, water it, nourish it, make sure that it gets whatever it needs to grow, and it will quickly grow so that it will become a great aid for your life like a shade tree, and it will become a great help for other people.